Understanding the Malignant Narcissist. This is the, I guess, weird obsession with sex with everybody. Again, the desirable psychology. Emotionally stunted. Chronic self-absorbed, self-preoccupied behavior. They think of themselves first. Limited or complete lack of empathy, lack of guilt or remorse, disregard for your well-being, safety, and those you love. They do what feels best. They do not learn from past mistakes and continue to repeat behaviors that have negative consequences. Think that guy that raped that woman and poisoned her husband with heavy metals, and then they beat him to death and chopped his head off? They didn't learn that the psychology's pretty bad. Lack of self-reflection. That means they don't have introspective. Inability to take your perspective, stand in your shoes. History of conflict and drama in relationships. History of denying reality due to effective realism. Reality is what it feels like versus what it is. That is going to be a big talking point. History of distorting reality and making up new narratives about situations to deal with it. History of impulsive behavior, more feeling than thinking, so they do what feels best. Enmeshment in relationships instead of emotional intimacy. May focus on physical things versus emotional. They do not do emotional work. They do not know how to repair relationships effectively. That mixed with the tetraloid brain. Psychopathy, anxiety, antisocial personality disorder, and addiction. So we have a 2-year-old that's an addict. So I guess this is gonna be a bombing on Blondie and his weird obsession with my sex harem. But this is also gonna be about this dumb bitch I worked with named Song that's a made up name. She was literally telling me about having sex with her dad. And this is a sad thing. Oh yeah, SA, rape, and all that crap's in this video. So if you don't like that stuff, fuck off. Emotionally stunted people. Everything is about how they feel. So if they're raped, that's good, because rape feels good. Sex feels good. Not rape, but sex feels good. Okay. So in her brain, when her father raped her, that was good. Because it felt good. No, it was wrong. And it's called statutory, and it's illegal. And once again, you're a weirdo if you rape your kids. You're weird. Okay. Normal people don't do that. Even animals in the jungle, most of them don't do that. But these people are more like baboons. Baboons solve everything through sex. So, yeah. So, to the average person, sex is about love and acceptance, to some extent, okay? It is about being completely naked with another person, but to the average, sex means different things to different people, and sex can take on different meanings depending on the individuals. Let's talk about this. To women, sex is emotional, and to men, sex is physical, okay? It is a physical moment. Unless you're these people and you're high on LSD, then it's somehow weirdly spiritual and emotional and everything's interconnected into one knot that doesn't really make any sense, but we're not even going to touch that, brother. The whole concept here is a pretty straightforward one, and it's really simple when you understand the issues here. These dudes can't connect with anybody on an emotional, empathetic, or sympathetic way. And their parents never accepted them. Daddy didn't give two shits. Mommy didn't give two shits. Didn't care about them, so they never got accepted. So what they crave is acceptance. And the only way they can get that acceptance is through sex or rape. Okay? And in their brains, it's the same thing. Rape doesn't exist. And with this church, it is a truth that they keep a lie. They lie to everybody about. Rape does not exist. In the Church of the Anal Eating Mummy, rape is not a thing. There is only sex. Because they're baboons. Okay. Now, once you get your head around that, you understand what was going on with Blondie. So, envy brain, malignant narcissists and their envy brains, because their core emotion is envy. They're jealous of everybody and everything in existence, and they want to be everything to everyone at the same time, but they also want to be nothing at the same time. This chaotic craziness that makes no fucking sense culminates in their tiny brains of their envy world. of being needed to be accepted and just as good as everybody else. And that is why this religion starts with the entitlement and the need to be superior, because if you're superior, you don't fall into this. But they do fall into this because it's a part of their defective ass psychology. I didn't think about this, but it was kind of funny. Blondie came into Papa John's and he had what they call the sex hair. His hair was all messed up. And he was all smiling and like, and he's like, I had sex with this guy's girls, and they told me, he was talking about my girls, and this is the thing, my mind was erased, so I had no idea what he was talking about, but in his brain, I remembered, even though they erased my mind. Yeah, what the shit. This is how much of an idiot he is. Well, he goes on, and I look at him, and he has fever blisters on his lip, and I was like, oh, you had sex and you got the herpes. Mind you, this is one of the dude that has to plow the babies, so... Your baby gets herpes. He's having extramarital sex. That wasn't our church leader. He's flawless. Well, anyways. He's what? That fever blister. That's herpes, dude. I don't have herpes. I'm a superior being. And I just started laughing. This loser had sex with those women because they thought I was great. Okay? And he couldn't handle the thought of somebody being better than him because he's a loser. And when I say these people are losers, they openly admit you have to cheat at everything. You can't leave anything to chance. Everything has to be rigged. Everything has to be bullshit. And you have to cheat at everything to win. This is the mindset of a loser. You are a loser if everything has to be rigged for you to win. Okay, if you can't just sit down and take a fucking L like a real man, you are a loser. That's not me being mean. And when I say these people have the brain of a 2-year-old, they have the brain of a 2-year-old. This is how a 2-year-old thinks and acts. And I remember him like, herpes, huh? Oh no, oh, I'm diseased. And he ran out of the back of Papa John's. And I don't even know why that guy comes in here. I really don't. But I think the whole thing came back to is a lot of people thought I was awesome and a lot of people thought I was cool, and he was lied to his entire life and told he was superior when he thinks like a 2-year-old and he does all the stupid things no matter what, and you can't explain to him he's an idiot because emotionally stunted people can't learn and this guy's incapable of learning. Like, it baffles me, but this is the whole thing, because even with their church leader Jose and all these... This shit just gets straight off the rails stupid, because let's say your wife loves and accepts you. That's great. That means you're awesome to that person. These losers also want to be awesome to your wife. And that's why they're going to have sex with her and or rape her. That's what's going to happen, because they need to know they're just as good. And that's how they know they're just as good, because that woman had sex with him, when that woman could have sex with him for a multitude of reasons. One, the church will murder them if they don't have sex with them. Another reason, maybe the marriage sex isn't that great. Maybe she's a slut. Like, to these idiots, it's about acceptance. It's about, I'm accepted and great, and I'm sticking it to that guy. And to these people, sex solves a lot of problems, especially rape, because they have control issues because they're insecure. So I want to talk about that. Because they're insecure, sex or rape solves a multitude of problems. It solves the acceptance problems. I'm accepted because you had sex with me. It solves the control issues. If you rape somebody, you can control them through rape, which is what these guys prefer to do. Okay. It solves the the need to feel loved. The need to, and I say feel loved, not actually be loved, but the need to feel loved. And remember, these guys are lead brain. They can't feel their own emotions because they have lead brains. Okay, so it's a simulation of what a functioning brain believes is actual love. Yeah. Now, they do what feels best. Everything is about how they feel. Remember, I did that thing about Ganon a while back. Everything, you're logical. Is because he only cares about his emotions like a woman does. Everything is about how they feel. Not you, not the woman that's being raped. You don't exist. To them, it's about how their feelings are. And this is how a child operates. And the other part is external validation. The woman, even if they're displeased, I remember Amanda Davis telling me she has to tell Stu he's amazing because he can't handle it if he's not. And this is the thing, their entire religion, when I say this is not a joke, they are baboons, because the top part of their religion is a wild sex orgy, okay? Everybody's having sex, and it's about the love and acceptance. Now, where do these issues come from? Their parents didn't love and accept them. This is a thing. These people are given away to other families. They are abandoned. They have abandonment issues, and this results in insecurity. They are insecure, and you can't explain this to them. I want to talk about, I remember one of the FBI guys, I was like, oh, they're lead. I was like, they're addicts. And every one of these people, even the serial killers, even the rapists, I'm not an addict. I'm not. I'm superior. No, you're not. You're an addict. You're an addict, and you're the worst kind of addict because you can't admit it. Okay, you put tetralead in somebody's brain, they become an addict. You are an addict. Okay? It's not up for debate. Everything you think, and I remember Stu telling me he has to kill people every couple months because he will die. If you know, it feels like he's dying. In reality is what it feels like, not what it is. You are an addict and you're going through withdrawal. Take it from me. I had my cuddle buddy for years, and cuddling is one of the biggest, harshest addictions you can get into. Okay. And when I stopped cuddling her, I fell into a deep super depression. I didn't feel like existing. I couldn't taste food. I couldn't remember the flow of water. Like, all that shit. Alright. I was fucking miserable, and I was miserable for probably 3 or 4 months, because that's how long it takes that feeling to get out of your system, and your brain to re-regulate, okay? Yeah. So these lead brain sex addicts go around raping women and then going, they accept me. That's what this is about, when the women are actually traumatized from being raped and they don't know what to do, and they're terrified because these guys, I'll kill you if you don't have sex with me. They love me, even though they're traumatized and terrified. And these people will tell you, I know how to read and I understand people. No, if your wife is terrified of you, you don't understand people. Okay, if you raped your wife to get her, you don't understand people. You're a monster. That's how that works. It's black and white like that. It's kind of fucked up because, yeah, emotionally stunted people, they talk about this in, like, rape treatment and how they think, like, the first time they were raped, it was amazing. And they think it's good because reality is what it feels like, not what it is. No, it was wrong. It wasn't right, regardless of how it felt. Okay? This is why you shouldn't let your emotions drive anything. They should stay in the back seat of your car where they belong. Okay? What else we got here? I guess, like, one of the funnier moments dealing with Blondie was I was like, you like fat chicks? And he was like, no, I don't like fat chicks. Yeah. Yeah. And these guys like everybody. Okay, they like everybody because they need to be accepted by everybody, and the only way they can feel that acceptance is through sex. And when you understand that, you understand why everything is sex at this church. Why everything is raped. Because it is all about, my mommy and daddy never accepted me. I want the love and acceptance I didn't get as a kid. Get a therapist. Stop raping people and ruining other people's lives because you have a fucking mental condition. I had a manager, he's a really good dude, but he confessed to me that he too felt the need, and dude, my manager's song had to have sex with everybody in the store. Like, literally had to, like, she was a slut, had to have sex with everybody. My other manager told me, like, his parents basically abandoned him and his brother, so when he was growing up, he felt the need to have sex with everybody, and he didn't understand why. This is why you feel the need to do that. It is because you don't feel loved and accepted. And you want to feel loved and accepted. And everybody wants to feel loved and accepted. And how you get that love and being accepted is, one, actually processing and seeing it's there. It's not through sex, you clown. Because sex isn't always about love and acceptance. Sometimes the other person's horrified that you just raped them. You fucking monster. Like, the ridiculousness of these creatures is just disgusting. This is somehow legal, by the way. The other thing I remember is one of these guys that called me when I was like president. You gotta remember, I was high out of my mind on all the drugs, so I don't even know if this is exactly what was going on. But he had like 10 wives or something, and he wanted this other guy's wife, and he kept telling me about the other guy. Not the woman. He kept telling me about the other guy. And I was like, can I ask you something? I was like, you keep going on about this guy. I was like, do you want to have sex with... Well, he's not better than me. But I was like, but you've been telling me about how cool he is and how much better he is than you. And the guy was like, he's not better than me. And I was like, and now you're telling me you want his wife. And he was like, yeah, I do want his wife. Do you think you want his wife because if she accepts him and he's better than you, and she accepts you, you're just as good as he is? I was like, is that how things work in your brain? And then he was like, that Patrick Star shit, the inner imaginations in my mind are an enigma. They're not. You're ridiculous, dude. And you stole that guy's wife. Congratulations, but guess what that guy can do? Go out and get a new wife that'll accept him and not accept you. Loser. That's how that works. It's called not being in control, which you're not in control. You have control issues from being raped, which is why rape is a bad idea to have it a part of a religion to begin with, you lunatic. Dude, these people are baboons. Like, holy shit. I think this kind of covered it. I'm pretty sure I could go better in depth if I actually wrote a script for these. But this is more of like a diagnosing thing than it is a help thing. This is like understanding why these people do as they do, and as much as they want to pretend that they're super complex and you don't understand them. No, everything, look, they only care about themselves. Everything's about their emotions. Everything's about how they feel. That's why it seems like pure chaos. Because emotions can be altered and swung on a whim by something somebody said or how some other person's existence can make them feel insecure. Okay? That's how that do. Good luck.